Hello, welcome back to Teaberry Farm. My name is Casey. If you are new, we're so glad you're here, and if you're not new, welcome back. So today we have a few projects that we need to get accomplished. It seems that there's a huge need for chicks, so the biggest thing, can you hear my kids? They got a trampoline for Christmas and they spend all their time on it now. So today's goal is to, basically we need to separate out our Buff Orpingtons. We need to create our breeding flock. We've already been doing lavender Orpingtons, it's going great, and we decided let's do Buffs. But the issue is, where do we put them? What are we gonna use? We don't have a chickshaw. Are we gonna build one? Honestly, right now, right after Christmas, trying to build a chickshaw and spending more money just sounds absolutely stupid. So basically, what I have been able to do is I have moved some of our older chicks in with our black Australorps for right now, because Australorps are sweet. It was an easy transition. They accepted them. You know, they're in a smaller situation. And let's face it, a chickshaw for 30 chickens that had like 7, you know, was a waste of space. So what we're gonna use is one of the A-frames that have now been vacated. We have one more Premier One fence and one more Energizer, and so we're gonna create another, you know, fence out back. Hi, where are your shoes? Where are your shoes? They're all wet too. Are you wet? Good job. Now I will say, raising chicks at this time of year, it is January, it's the beginning of January. If you have a place to keep them warm, I mean, they're fully feathered about like 7 weeks, where you're not like stressing about them freezing to death because they don't have feathers. But if you have a place to keep them warm up until that time, because I know we're gonna probably roll into much more colder weather here in Northwest Florida, now is the time to be raising chicks, y'all, because they'll start laying, you know, about May, June. And hatcheries, y'all, like, people have already pre-ordered. They started pre-ordering in like November. Right, so the next hatch days for some of these hatcheries are like April, May, y'all. I mean, they may have some earlier ones, but it's gonna be, you're not gonna get everything that you want because they started pre-ordering in like November. So sometimes locally raised, locally hatched chicks and raised chicks are your only option. So if you start now, you're gonna have a longer first year of hatch versus people who wait till spring, because I've had so many people, oh, I'm gonna wait till spring, and I'm like, okay. Like, and then now that I'm seeing the demand for eggs and chicks, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I can't keep up with the demand. We don't have that capability just yet. I have, you know, hens, I have pullets, but like they still have a couple more months before they're gonna lay. Like, I'm at max capacity at the moment, and having to turn people away has been kind of sad because I would love to give everybody some eggs. But yeah, between my husband's work, the business, the market, oh look, she's bringing in a push broom. And between the market, I mean, I don't even know how to keep up with it right now. We're doing everything we can so that the chickens are happy, healthy. We're moving them as often as we can. Oh, thank you. Oh, look, I got a broom. And off she goes. So, I mean, we had talked about expanding maybe a month ago, and I was like, no, I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not sure what's happening in the world. Maybe we should just wait. And now I'm like, oh. So come along with us today, and we're gonna feed chickens. We're gonna move chickens. Hopefully it's not too hilarious or embarrassing for us, but yeah, let's get started. Look, I have a husband. You'll only see me. This is my husband, Mike. He does tons of stuff. I just normally film by myself, but hey, you can see him today.
used to be so chill. Then he got his own flock.
No.
Now it's Mortal Kombat every time we come in here.
How come he doesn't bother you? He bothers me all the time.
Oh, no,
He bothers me all the time.
He's
He
perfectly
definitely-
handsome.
He definitely tries to.
Cool. So this was originally our black Australorp flock, but I needed the A-frame so we could move the buffs. So there's a mix of Australorp, Buff Orpingtons, Lavender Orpingtons, Easter Eggers, all in here. They're super happy. It's so fun to watch the chicks when they get a little bit older and they're like, wow, freedom, it's amazing. But you know, for right now, they just weren't, most of the young ones were not ready to go into Gen Pop, so this is where they are. It's like a nursery. Did you get them? Look at all the eggs. Good job. She got 3. Good girl.
They distract them. My diversionary technique.
Is that?
Kenny, come here. Come here. Come here.
I'll run you over. Oh, yeah. And then normally we try to move the whole fence in the chickshaw system, what, once a week?
And once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending on how much area they kind of tear up, the weather conditions.
Yeah.
A couple factors, so 1 week to 2 weeks.
Well, we're probably moving them on about 2 acres. And with the fact that it's winter and there's less green grass growing and it's not growing as fast, and so we don't have, it's not like perfectly ideal like you're supposed to be doing it, but I mean, you use what you have, right?
Yeah, and this right here, these chickens and the chickens adjacent to us right now, that's 2 entire Premier 1 fence, 100 foot, so it's 200 feet
I think
in
so.
circumference-ish.
Yeah.
Now the other ones that are single 100 foot circumference, we do move those a bit more frequently, like every 3 to 4 days, depending again on how much they tear it up, how the weather is. You don't want the grass to be absolutely destroyed, decimated, to where it's not going to be able to recover. And we do kind of compensate by throwing out a ryegrass seed to kind of replace that.
Yeah, I carry a fanny pack only for her. It's for my phone because I don't have any pockets because I wear like leggings, but it's mostly for her snacks. Keeps the whining down. So we move them on the weekends because he's home and he's not at work. It's so much easier. Plus we move them in the dark with our headlamps.
Because the chickens are asleep, they obviously go into their nighttime mode, so they get back in the chickshaw, go to sleep. The door's already locked, you kind of move everything.
A lot of people do it in the morning, and it's not the first thing I want to do on a Saturday morning, so they get moved like
Cup of coffee is.
Saturday or Sunday night. So nighttime just seems to be easier for us.
Only takes moving the chickens in the evening, even in the dark. We can move this batch and that batch. There's about 32 in that one and about 25 chickens in here. And we can move both of them in about an hour in the dark. So,
yeah. And we've gotten good at it. Like, we each have our own job and we know what to expect, and that's how we do it. So, and the kids help too, like moving the waters and the feeders and stuff. But yeah, in the very beginning,
probably 90 minutes to 2 hours.
it took forever, and it was like marriage counseling.
It was
couples therapy, like, what are you doing? But now you wanna learn more about your spouse, start a homestead. Oh, he just made a good point too. You also learn a lot about yourself and how you don't say things correctly or appropriately or with the right tone, or yeah, you learn a lot. So there's been a lot of growth happening this last year.
Yeah. Yes, we have carts. Yes, we have a side-by-side we can use. Yes, we have vehicles to include a pickup truck to move water.
You just like doing it the hard way.
But there's just something rewarding about doing it the hard way. But also, it's a farmer's carry for a reason.
And keep in mind, these are both 5-gallon water. So he's got 10 gallons of water. A gallon of water is 8.34 pounds per gallon. So what is that? 80 pounds ish?
80 pounds total.
Yeah.
So
So
like 40, 45 pounds in each one.
yeah, there's about 45 pounds, 45 pounds in each hand. I can't do 2, but he likes to do it the hard way.
So I built the second A-frame right before the holidays, and we were doing a full video on its construction, you know, considerations, and like just an overall review. But Frostpocalypse set in, excuse me, and we had to get cracking. Like I didn't have time to actually set up anything, and I just really had to get it out so we could get it in the barn so the chickens didn't freeze at night.
And these were a little more cost effective compared to a chickshaw.
Yeah,
So-
your total cost is between $400 and $500 if you go with cedar, which is better for the chickens. But the hardware, the lumber, the siding, or the roofing, if you will, you're about $450 to $500 total.
These are still my favorite. They've started like doing that thing that Fred does where he comes at you sideways with his wings.
Yeah.
So I think they think they're men now. They're still a lot of fun. They're like pocket size. Kennedy's got one she really likes. Here, hold this one. Come here. Bring your pigeon over here. So this is also a blue Cochin Bantam. It just looks like a pigeon. I want to say it's badly bred, but it looks weird. Acts the same, probably will hatch the same, but it looks like a pigeon, and because it looks different, like, she loves it. And the poor thing just deals with it and lets her drag it around. So. Okay, so now we have to do a ridiculously long trek with this A-frame to put it out in the pasture because, for one, you don't have time to build another chickshaw. 2, it's after Christmas. That's stupid financially.
It's just easier to make existing infrastructure work for our problem instead of just always adding to it, which would be nice, but it's not necessary.
Let's be real, this lifestyle costs money. So we're gonna be responsible. So instead of taking it straight over here where there's a nice gate and then we can just walk it on in, it turns out that gate is not 10 feet wide.
It's literally about 6 inches too small, and
he'll be on one end, I'll be on the other, steering it with the hand cart, and we're not going to be able to communicate very well. So what we have to do is we have to go down our long driveway, out onto the road a little bit, and then there's a giant, I don't know, 20-foot gate?
it's probably
Dump trucks.
15.
Dump trucks
15
go
foot.
through it. So we'll have to make like a U and then all the way in. So we're going to try to put up the drone to follow us as we do this, but it's a lot longer than it would be to go the other way. But, you know.
2 days travel.
So hopefully we don't get in a fight.
If there's a music montage, then we probably use some colorful words, and it was frustrating. If there's not, then it went smoothly. So,
And the nice thing is the drone doesn't do sound, so you won't hear any of it.
yeah. right, so now that we got the A-frame in place, it's time to set up their bed down site inside the A-frame. We like to use the dog houses. You don't have to build any infrastructure. They're super maneuverable. You can hose them out, and we just kind of throw a little bit of hay in there, make it warm and comfortable for them. That we change out every 3-4 days, sometimes a week, depending on how many chickens are in there.
And these work really well. They come from Tractor Supply, and they're like $80 or $90. It's like the large doghouse. That might seem like a lot, but when you think about how much wood you would need to make something similar, this is just easier. It saved him a lot of trouble because he's only able to build infrastructure on the weekends when he's not at work. But this works great for chicks. They're warm, they're happy. And then when we put this inside of the A-frame, because of like the really bad thunderstorms we get, it adds like a third wall, I guess. We built these A-frames more for because we get more hot weather. So we wanted it to have more airflow and things like that. But yeah. But the nice thing is that he built this with the door wide enough that I can just have the whole thing together and put it in or pull it out. We have something that's different, and the door is like really skinny, and I have to take it apart, and it's such a pain in the butt. So thank you. All right, so now we gotta catch some Buff Orpington hens so that we can separate them. This should be interesting. And one rooster. With a rooster, you grab the tail and then you push them down on their back. Little does he know, he's going to get his own flock all to himself. Easy.
Are you done laying? I'm sorry. Thank you.
We're leaving the poopy rooster. He and Fred can hang out.
Gonna be poopy together. Birds of a feather?
I don't know. Oh.
There you go.
We changed our mind. We're gonna move both buff roosters. That way we have a bunch of golden lace Wyandottes, and there's like 2 well summer roosters in there. And so the transition will be easier to put them in Gen Pop literally pretty soon. So, yeah.
You want to do that today?
I guess.
You can wait till next weekend.
No, let's get it done. Okay.
New friend.